तू चलता चल तू चलता चल तू चलता चल.
From NDA, I moved back to my unit 20 Punjab. An important event took place in my life here, and that is appearing for the Defence Services Staff College course. I will talk about it in little detail because examinations are important for our students, and it will give you an idea as to how I went about writing this competitive examination, which is supposed to be a difficult examination in the defense services. I was due to write this examination in April 92. In my battalion, after Major Bindra, who later retired as a Lieutenant General, no one had cleared this exam. He had cleared this exam in the late 70s, and after that, one Major Rathore, who was about 3 years my senior, had managed to clear this exam in the 1990s after 3 years of preparation, in which I didn't see him doing practically anything else in the battalion. He was just preparing for staff college, and he was paid by the battalion to carry on preparing for his examination. Earlier also I had noted officers senior to him being relieved of their duties. They were excused physical training. I mean, practically everything they were relieved of, and they were supposed to be preparing for this examination, which of course they did not clear. Rathore sir's case was also pretty similar. So he utilized all his 3 attempts, and his final attempt he was able to clear this exam. So he had a big reputation in 20 Punjab of being a highly educated guy. Another interesting thing is that this exemption from duties is directly proportional to the good relations a person or an officer has with the commanding officer, and this was one department in which I have always been very, very weak right since I joined my battalion as second lieutenant, and practically throughout my service. My immediate senior, Major Col, was also due to write this exam in a second attempt along with me. Col and I had been close friends. He is 6 months my senior. He is a direct entry, and he was in a single company while I was in Karen company. We were neighboring companies in IMA, so he knew me since then. I advised him not to seek much help from Major Rathore because I said, "Yeah, देखो ये भाव खाएगा, तो फायदा नहीं है कुछ." But anyway, he did not take my word. He did go to Major Rathore for help and all that. I don't think he got much help. I never asked Major Rathore for any help whatsoever. I have been very much against this people being exempted from routine duties and all that, as I have been stressing all my students that when you are preparing for your various written examinations and all that, people want to give up their work life and all that. I have never subscribed to these ideas, and accordingly, I did all my duties, and only the bare minimal annual leave and all which was authorized to me, I took that. So there is a 1 month preparatory pre-staff course which is run by all the command headquarters. So Eastern Command Headquarters was running this course in Vinagudi. So I went there since I had just come very late after doing my junior command course. So time was inadequate for me to join up. So I was 1 week late to go for this 1 month course. So for me it was just about 3 weeks. Anyway, no issues. I found that the officers are working really very hard. They were just confined to their rooms, and I never saw any movement. It was absolute silence, and they used to attend their classes and go reach home. Quite a few of them were with their families, and they were just there inside. No activity was seen. Nobody was doing any physical exercise and all. So I was the only one who used to go for my morning runs, and I used to play some badminton in the evening. So I was the only officer who had come for this pre-staff course who was visible after the working hours in the station. So I got fairly well known, and also a reputation developed that I was the only one person who had come who was not serious at all about this examination, who had just come to waste his time. which of course was not true, but well, reputations need not be true. When I had the interview of my senior instructor, who was a brigadier, after the course was over, he advised me that I should not write this examination. And the reason he gave me is that you will unnecessarily get demoralized because your preparation is of a very low level. In my life, I have given very little credence to such pieces of advice. Uh, I had my own agenda. This examination had following papers. Tactics A is all about tactics of various kinds, which is required in the defense forces. There is a paper known as Tactics B, in which we have to make an operational plan at a battalion or regiment level. Uh, the nearest you SSB aspirants can come to is in the group planning exercise which you guys do, which is of course student. A group of 10 students get some situations and they try to solve those. In this, it is at a battalion or regiment level, so you have your 800 troops and you are a full colonel, and you are allotted some resources to do the task, whatever is given to you. So you want to make a plan, mark it out in map and all that. So that kind of thing is there. It's a 3-hour paper. Then we have a paper known as Science and Military Technology, in which you should be knowing about the equipment, mine laying, computers which are coming in, radars, whatever equipment defense services is using. So the scientific understanding of these things, communication equipment and things like that. Then is the paper of administration and law. Now I had to, in this 3 weeks, I had to evolve my strategy as to how should I go about preparing. That was my main agenda. So two main things I had to decide was, one was that I felt that my knowledge of science and military technology is as it is quite okay. So I thought that, I will check out myself in the examinations which they are conducting in this paper and see if I can just stop studies for this paper. And my performance was above 60%. So I just stopped. I said science and military technology, I will be able to pass without any effort. Tactics A paper was something since I had recently done my junior command course and I felt that I was well versed with things and I was quite updated with stuff. So I should be able to manage that also. In that also, I wrote the examination with pretty a decent amount of seriousness, and I realized I don't have to bother. I'll be able to manage this paper also. Military history is a paper which requires considerable preparation, and people say you require about 6 months or so. So I thought that okay, if people generally say 6 months, so I will still maybe if I'm smarter, still I will need some time, and time was hardly there. April was very close. This was mid-December. So I made a plan. I got a good. We had the World War II Burma campaign was there primarily in our syllabus as operations in Malaya and Singapore also, present Malaysia, and the battle of the various islands which are there, Java, Sumatra, and Indonesia. All this. Fine. So I got a good hang of the map. I studied the map and thereafter went on making my plan about the study. I had to devote quite a bit of time to this. Administration I had to study, and I had thought that in this 3 weeks time, since my understanding of tactics is pretty okay, making of plans and all should not be a big deal, but I should get an idea about writing the appreciation, which is the 3-hour paper of making the military plan. So I thought that here I will be benefited by the instructors, and as normally happens, I found that no instructor checked any of the plan which I wrote with any amount of sincerity. Well, I'm quite used to all these things. I don't like to depend on people. I said, fine, if they're not going to check, I don't depend on people. I will teach myself how to write this examination. So with this strategy, I went back home. I had taken a couple of months leave, and in that as per my strict plan, as I tell all of you students to make your weekly plan and all that, I did all that. I laid down my weightages of devoting, allocating time to the various subjects. Went about my preparation, and what I thought was that in this attempt maybe I will not be able to pass, but I said let me give myself a decent chance. So I will tell a little things about this tactics B paper, writing of the operational plan. Now, when this is a 3-hour paper, it normally took me more than half an hour to understand as to what needs to be done. Something like when you are studying the group planning exercise, you need to understand the map, time, distances, and all that. What are your resources, and get an idea what all you have to do. So, and only then I used to get working. I used to get my mental ideas clear, and then I used to start writing my answer. So I remember an invigilator came and he said, I was writing the examination in Delhi along with my senior Col. And he said, yaar, tune kuch bhi nahi likha, and people have written 2 to 3 pages. I still had time and, patience to tell him, okay, sir, I am also surprised how these people are able to start writing when I have not even understood what the plan is. And as far as IQ is concerned, I rate myself somewhere in the 5-10% of the Indian Army. So I am definitely, these are not smarter than me. Anyway, so that's how it was. And within a couple of hours, I was absolutely clear that I will pass this paper, definitely. So after I had written this examination, I was not very this thing, but I was not confident that I will fail. I thought, chance hai pass ho bhi sakta hu. Results came and I was successful. I had started my preparation for the next exam, and I was thinking that I will do really well, look for competitive vacancy or something like that. But need was not there. I had qualified, and now I was set to go for this course. Now the beauty was that my immediate senior Col, he also passed this exam, and suddenly importance of Major Rathore came down drastically. Here was one guy, after since 70s, after 90s, first officer had cleared, and he'd taken 3 attempts, and my God, everybody in the battalion knew that he is preparing for this big deal exam and all that. And you found a guy who's come from posting from NDA, just finished his course and hardly had time, and in a matter of 3-4 months, he has cleared this exam. So anyway, I had started preparing good notes and all for about 3 months after this examination, which I gave to my immediate senior, Major Bhavani, for his preparation. I was his instructor also later on. Anyway, but it did not help him because he did not clear this exam ever.